in terms of your
I'm making-
documentaries
yeah,
and
10
then your
hour
political
making it,
dramas, in your political dramas, and especially the JFK, Nixon, and W, what are your obligations different in either form? And how are they different? And
Well, hopefully in the drama you tell somewhat, you reflect the spirit of it, what you think is the truth. I mean, it would be wrong for me to do a film about a vigilante who gets away with it.
But going back to the political movie, the political dramas, the fictionalizations versus the nonfiction work, what spirit should the audience approach both in a different spirit?
Yeah, I think so.
Tell me more about that.
I think it's fun to see a movie. Sometimes a documentary could be fun too, but I think there's an obligation to try to seek it out, to get to the bottom. And that's what documentaries are supposed to do, get to the bottom. You know?
But in terms of the fiction films, though, people that are looking for literal truths, and your films don't stick to literalism as much as they are really more psychological portraits. Do you think that they demand something different of viewers?
Well, I'm a funny case. I mean, JFK is a weird movie, for example. I mean, it's a pastiche of everything I read, brought down to a simplified form, where you take multiple characters, you make them into one. But I do feel that JFK, to this day, reflects the truth of that assassination. The same thing is true in this Wall Street movie. I do think that there's a spirit that's going on in that age. And they have said the 1987 version was accurate. I mean, predictable, prophetic, whatever you want to say. And I think this one is a feeling, we don't know yet where it's all going to go, but it's definitely a feeling of that shakiness, uncertainty, and corruption that's in the air. The Federal Reserve Board seems that type of thing has never been done. It's based on obviously a lot of research, but it's simplified. It's much more complex. I couldn't do that. I mean, it's a hard balance. You do this, and then Tom Rothman once says, "Hey, what's the leverage? What's the leverage mean? Or what does what does shorting the stock mean? That's complicated to the average person. So you got to deal with that. But I've always felt you could get away with arcane language as long as you understand what the emotions of what the act. So you put, like Howard Hawks said, you got to have. He used to say, it was very funny about his westerns. He says hats are good. Sometimes the actors don't like it because they can't see their face. And if you look at some of these modern action movies, they take their hats off and they run around bareheaded. Hawks used to say, keep the hat on because people recognize the hat, and it's important when you get to the close-up because you don't know who that person is unless you get the hat.
From what I read, people approached you over the years to come back and revisit and make Wall Street too, but you weren't so keen. I don't know if that's true or not. And
not at that time, no. That was 2006. It wasn't. The crash hadn't happened. I didn't want to celebrate wealth. It was clear that it was out of control. Everyone was pigging out. It was a sick world. I mean, but I had W to do it. That was a bigger issue for me. I wanted to do that movie about him. And then after the crash, it became much more significant because that was a real warning. That was a heart attack. It was a triple bypass, you'd say. As I said yesterday, I think we put a stent in. But it's still an issue. It's a huge issue of how you're going to reform this thing. The banks have gone wild. How do you get them back under control? They're central banking. How do you are the banks going to be the Morgan? I mean, is this going to happen? Are the banks going to tell us what to do? The banks dictated this bailout. The Federal Reserve Board said yeah. The Department of the Treasury said yeah, but they're bankers. They're all bankers. The Treasury Secretary was an ex-banker. They always are. Andrew Mellon was Secretary of the Treasury, and he was one of the richest guys in the country. I mean, they always are. So who's getting the money to who? But rich men giving money to rich men. So the banks say to the government, hey, if we go down, you're going down. It's not true. But they get you that place where you believe it. And they obviously have a lot of mountain of activity. They have Larry Summers there. They got Geithner. They got all these people. You got to believe it because it's so scary the other way. If those people are all telling you it's going down, it's very hard to say no.
Do you worry about the film being too balanced or too kind? Like you insert a lot of humanity into the banking process.
Yeah, you have to. Because what do you think? Obama's got Geithner and Summers, and if you talk to Summers and Geithner, they're human beings too. That's, everyone's got their reasons. But the truth is, they're out of control, and the documentary could be harsher about it.